Hey, can I talk to you for a minute?
Yeah, my rent costs $2,100. Could you pay that?
No, I don't got it like that.
Well, I have nothing further to say. And with that being said, bye.
We live in interesting times where we know that things like AI and the changing financial landscape are going to affect not just the way we live and our standard of living, but our relationships. And while we have this kind of advice being given in the West, there's something very peculiar happening in the Far East, particularly Japan and Korea. South Korea is a modern country with delicious food, beautiful landscapes, and interesting people. The same can be said for the country I'm in, Japan. Delicious food, very safe, wonderful schools, but both of these countries are facing existential crises. As you can see in Japan, everyone knows the birth rate is as low as it's ever been. And in Korea, it's at a level that is historically crisis-provoking.
It's claiming that you're a married woman or claiming that this man loves you, because I won't believe you. I won't believe you if you're digging your pockets trying to pay bills, talking about your man loves you. I will never believe it, because a man that loves you will find a way to pay them bills and make sure you're happy.
It's very interesting to me to hear this kind of modern dating advice that's telling modern women to ask for traditional roles to be filled, when more and more men in the modern world understand that traditional roles don't really exist in the modern world. It's just kind of a, I don't know, I mean, it's almost kind of a trick, really, because we both probably are college graduates, we both have work careers. So if the plan isn't to work together, then why should I mate with a modern woman? I should at least seek a traditional woman or a modern woman who wants to cooperate. But that aside, in this world of the sprinkle, he has to pay all the bills while you still work 45 hours a week and keep all of your money. First world countries are doing things like Japan is, and this is a policy in place now, where if you are in a household that's making less than 8 million yen, which is probably roughly $70,000 a year, you are going to get a monthly stipend for the government for your 0 to 3-year-old child of 15,000 yen, which is about $100, $110, $15. But of course, that goes a lot further here than it would in America. And then from the time that that child is from 3 until they start elementary school, you'll get 10,000 for one child. You have a second child, you get an extra 10,000. And for third or every child above that, you're going to get 15,000 yen per child every month. That is a current policy. That is, people are getting this amount of money every single month for having a child in the family if you're making under this amount of money. And then even when the children get to elementary and junior high, you're still getting another $100 a month to help pay for the kind of things that are necessary, be it extra food, toiletries, clothing, whatever. This is a current policy that they are using to supplement families' incomes. From the Japan Times from August 31st of 2022, South Korea to triple baby payments in a bid to tackle the fertility crisis. South Korea plans to provide every family with a newborn child a monthly allowance of 1 million won, $740, in its latest move to encourage more births and try to address the world's lowest fertility rate. The handout will begin next year at a level of 700,000 won a month and rise to the full amount in 2024. Once the child turns 1, the stipend will be reduced by half and run for a further year. So you can see that Korea is making very strong strides, making very liberal policy to encourage people to have children. And get this, Japan is doing even more than that. Japan, in some cities, are paying newlywed couples 600,000 yen to start their new lives, which is about $5,000. Couples who get married from next April can receive up to 600,000 yen to cover their rent and other costs as they start a new life. What's interesting about this is that it's for couples that are younger than 34 on their wedding day. And so what they're trying to do is incentivize younger people to get married and have more children. A married couple earning below 3.4 million yen in total annual after tax can receive a subsidy of up to 300,000 yen. Another point worth mentioning is that 257 of the 1,724 cities are participating in the system. It's not all the cities, but you can see that's a good 1 out of 6, 1 out of 7 cities that are saying, hey, listen, we will give you money if you come here and start a family. That's it. Get married, start a family, we'll pay you money. When one of the spouses are infertile, and this is interesting, they're going to actually subsidize people who are having difficulty getting pregnant. So in such cases, the government will issue an additional subsidy of 150,000 yen, which can be received twice per year. Literally, they are paying people to start traditional families.
So when you decide to be exclusive to a person, when they take you off the market, they need to be paying all bills, period, or else you're still on the market, which means you're still available to date other men or whoever you're trying to date.
I'm mesmerized by the kind of modern dating advice that I hear in the TikToks, because you basically hear people who are making 40, 50, 60,000 working a full-time job, expecting essentially their societal equal, the person that's making the same amount or on that level or higher, to say, I'm going to retire you from working. And what's interesting about that is that that is something that just hasn't happened in 70, 80 years. And so to tell men you're not a man if you can't do that, when you're working alongside the same men in the same job, of course it's making guys do SYSBM and passportbros. But this is happening in a world where there are first world countries that are paying people to have traditional families, large traditional families. And I personally know some men who come here and they find a traditional Japanese wife. And I know one gentleman, I think he's had 5 or 6 kids, and they go back to, I think it's Utah or something, every summer, and they live a big traditional family life. And get this, that family is getting $1,000 checks every single month from the government saying, thank you for having children. If you're imagining the fact that you could not only have a traditional woman, a traditional family, live in a safe country with good education and safe, delicious food, and do all of this while you're getting paid and not have to deal with modern dating. The idea that now there are countries that are paying people to have traditional families, all they want you to do is have kids. Imagine that in a world where Shira 7 is telling young ladies that a man has to pay your rent in order to get a date with you. I think that answers the question for you, gentlemen. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care, guys.